onto something that happened just recently. And it even got me at the time. I have never come across snakes in my life. Well, I have up north, but I didn't know about it because, you know, I was stomping around like I've been told to. This was the first time. I was just sitting in this office. We've converted this garage. And if you were to think, there's a ledge up there. So I was this far away. And I looked up and I went, wow. It was like a 4-foot, quite well-established python. Now, to me, English person in the wilderness, you know, Duralong's a wilderness to someone like me, I went, gosh, wow. And so I just went very calm, and this snake was just looking at me, and I went, this is here for a reason. This snake's never been here ever in my life. It is here to teach me something. So I sat there and I just calmed myself down, worked from my heart space, knew it wasn't going to launch at me or anything, and I just looked at it and I said, gosh, I'm really curious about you. And this thing just went like this, and it just leant forward about a couple of inches with its head like that, and it said to me, I'm rather interested in you too. But very slowly, so slow, and then I went, oh, of course. I'd never allowed for that. I'd only ever spoken to horses or dogs or flies, you know, something that comes through really quickly. And it was just like, it was so slow you could have missed it. It was like a whale. It was so slow you could have missed it, but I wasn't going anywhere because the door was, you know, it was above the door. And I heard it and I went, wow, that's really interesting. And I was curious. I wasn't even making it up. I went, oh God, I'm curious about you. Now, interestingly, what I realised is this, is unknowingly, I had set the intent for this snake to be there because this is a garage that we're just converting, and there's a problem with mice. And I will refuse to bait anything. I'm just talking to them all day long, saging it like mad, going, please little mice, can you go and live somewhere else? And I just said, look, well, we caught one with a lovely trap, you know, the lovely ones. And they're not a trap, they just walk in and the door closes, and then released it in a field nearby. And I went, I've just separated it from its family. It's now lost, terrified. It occurred to me, and I went, I can't do this, I can't even do this. This snake came along, and it was a normal and natural way for the universe to intervene. I wasn't going to do anything about these rats and mice, and they were definitely causing a problem. And it just slowly worked its way around, ate some of them. The rest of them just wandered off because they knew a snake was present. And I went, gosh, intent. I hadn't realised it. I'd said something. I said, oh, it would be lovely for these mice to be gone. Released it, let it go, and then the snake was here the next day. I went, gosh, that's really amazing. Now, the interesting thing about a snake, but it made me realise that we need to see from I saw through its eyes. I asked permission. I looked through its eyes, and I felt its metabolism, and I felt its skin, and I went, God, this is incredible. If one embraces an animal's character, its essence, its perspective, its view on life, its vulnerabilities, its motivations. Like, I've got a little pony, Rocky. You ask him to come in at 4 o'clock, all the others run in because there's food. He'll go under the lowest, uncontainable is a mini pony. Any fence, he will just roll under and then bob off and go and eat the landlady's lovely lawn. And he just does it because he can. But he'll come in, it's just not when you want to, you know. It's reasoning, you've got to take into account its size, its olfactory senses. So we're looking at a snake here that's taking in a lot more than we're able to take in. Its strength, its species point of view, and its natural inclinations and habits. So when one is looking at a dog, think about, well, what's the dog's perspective on this? Why won't the dog do this? So you can ask a dog to do something, and it may just say, yes, of course. But it may say, no, I won't, I can't. And then you've got to say, well, why? So then you become the dog and you go, I can't because of this, because it hurts my feet. I can't go on that walk in the middle of the day because the ground's hot, it's 40 degrees. And you suddenly go, oh God, I didn't realise that. And so here's my practice thing for you guys. To find the sweet spot. So yes, we want to communicate with our beautiful pets or whoever, and it's great to practice this, but this is the way to do it, right? Because they're very discerning. If you've got a fly on your window, now remember, equal bridge, this fly is not inferior to us. They're very smart, actually. Now take into account all of that I've just said, its character, its motivations, its inclinations, it's a fly. you know. You don't go from a human thinking it's going to understand your human point of view. And it's sitting at the window, buzzing to try and get out, or you think so. And all you have to do is become the fly, so make it so it's safe. Just say it's safe, with your heart. And you just picture yourself as the fly. And then you just picture the open door over there, and you show it its freedom. So you show it, you being it, the picture of you flying out, and there's a lovely empty field there, right? And I can promise you, it'll shock you when it happens. It will 6 times out of 10 do it. You just have to remember like Rocky, you've got to do it in its time frame, not yours. You stand in the space being without trying. But one must also remember this, that it might not want to go outside. It might want to stay in here and just have a little snack on your breakfast. It might have a different motivation. So it may be looking like it wants to go out. So you've got to work on the basis that you're saying to this thing, be free, be free. It might say, well, no, because you've got a bit of buttered toast over there. I'm going to have a little look at that one.